Check the mic and make sure it sound right.
Hi, I'm DK Will, and this is DK. We'll talk about it. I hope as many viewers as possible benefited from my previous two videos that I did. Put your 2 cents in the crypto market 5 days ago. And also, once you go black, I focused on ZBEC Network a couple days ago. And if you've been following it or if you took advantage of it, you benefited pretty well. Maybe doubled your money if you did it. And I will say it's not too late. But I deviated to show the value that can be found in some of the lesser known, cheaper cryptocurrencies. However, I want to turn my focus back to XRP and this concept I began here a few months ago about a gorilla grip on your XRP. Get a grip on your XRP and why? Because there's going to be all kinds of effort to shake the XRP out of your hands, to distract us from XRP, to make us get discouraged and maybe defund our XRP portion of our portfolio to invest in another. And I encourage you, don't do that for any of the other ones I mentioned. Invest what you can afford, of course, but don't take it from XRP of all places. But I did say about when they try to shake you out, get a gorilla grip and hodl. And I tried to carry that concept of a gorilla grip, and I'll be frank. I hope it takes replaces the concept of diamond hands, because see, a gorilla with its powerful grip also knows when to let go, whereas diamond just doesn't yield. And so why I'm bringing us back to XRP now is because the shakeout continues. The demoralizing, non-moving, stagnant, boring progress of probably the most valuable crypto asset available, even beyond ZBC and in the end, um, is still being trying to get shaken out of your hands. And it's articles like this one that are being designed to do it from you today. It says XRP is on the verge of entering the $1 zone. Now, they mean between $1 and $2. But this article from today says XRP really close to losing heavily protected $2 level, potentially entering death spiral toward $1. If XRP death spirals below $1, I'm going to go find some money and I'm going to buy me some XRP, even though my dollar cost average is way down below the dollar and even the 50 cents. And I encourage anyone else, if they're foolish enough to try to scare people out of their XRP by dropping it into this zone, take advantage of it. And hopefully even more will benefit, like those who took advantage of the ZBCN talk. And like I said, it ain't over yet. I encourage you to go look at those two videos. But it says that recently XRP has been following a precarious path and its price action is currently teetering perilously near a collapse below important support levels. XRP has experienced another decline and is now trading at the 217 region. I haven't looked at the price today, but we'll take their word for that. It says every time a breakout attempt was thwarted by intense selling pressure. Who's selling XRP? Who's selling XRP? Those of us who've been around ain't selling it. Now they might discourage you, and that's where you need your gorilla grip. But they're selling it. They've accumulated it. They create this illusion of selling it to discourage people who are afraid and jittery to unload their XRP. And then it bounces on a V return, and now you have to pay more to get it back. Don't fall for that. Yeah, don't go for that. Because this article talks about right now XRP is clinging to this zone, which is one of the key price levels to watch. It is likely that the next psychological level at $2 will be tested shortly if this area does not hold. However, the worst case scenario is a break below $2, which should open the door for a sharp drop toward the 180 to 170, I mean $1.80, $1.70 range. In effect, the dreaded $1 zone. Like I said, if that happens, get you some more XRP. But it's going to do, if it does that, it's going to do exactly, I hope you can see my pointer here where it did this fall. What happened next? V recovery. Fall, V recovery. fall v recovery, fall v recovery, fall v recovery, fall v recovery, because they just go down to liquidate, which was another one of my videos that I did about the liquidations, which was, where was it, baby? Liquidations right here means celebrations are on the way. So if they are dumb enough to do that and you haven't bought XRP yet, that'd be probably the time to buy it. And for those of us who've been around for a while, even buy more. So this article here, on the verge of entering the $1 zone, um, go ahead, make my day. Go to the $1 zone. I might find some money to reinvest in even more XRP, because there's other factors to consider along with these scare tactics. Now, before I leave this chart, you can see here, this is the blue line they're talking about, right? In this article, where was it at? They talked about the blue line. I read it before, right here. Any attempt for bullish hopes are still brutally capped by the blue downward trend line, okay? Now, if you don't know anything about reading charts, and I'm not no expert at reading charts either, you would take their word for it. But if you extend this blue line, it could just as easily be a retest to bounce off and V off. And that's very likely, more likely than what they're saying. Please reconcile in your mind this article here about the verge of entering the $1 zone with an article like this. XRP marks another milestone as Dubai brings 16 billion in real estate company to the blockchain. Okay, so XRP has achieved another impressive milestone with the Dubai Land Department's announcement of a $16 billion real estate tokenization project on the XRP ledger. This development has been lauded as one of the factors that could spark an XRP price rally. Okay, so reconcile in your mind that dreaded $1 to $2 zone and something like this, and things like this are happening behind the scenes over and over again with XRP. Ripple in particular, because it says XRP. Ripple has expanded its footprint so marvelously on a global scale that anybody who's looking at fundamentals knows that this is a beautiful company to be invested in. And in fact, I am in the private market, have shares of Ripple. We'll hope it goes IPO. But Ripple executive Reese Merrick commented on the development, noting that the Dubai Land Department's forecasts a $16 billion tokenized real estate market by 2033. I still think these forecasts are way too modest, and things are going to move way faster than what they're projecting. But it represents 7% of total property transactions will be processed on the XRP ledger. Now, that type of news compared with the other news about the dreaded $1 zone, to me, just kicks the dreaded $1 zone out of the water. And as a matter of fact, crypto analyst Crypto Insight highlighted how bullish this milestone is for XRP price, predicting that could be one of the catalysts that sparks a rally to $12. And this will mark a new all-time high for the altcoin. And also in my prior videos, particularly here, $12 and 2020 incoming, I see that as more likely than a $1 to $2 zone, keeping in mind that that $1 to $2 zone is a buying opportunity. It's absolutely not a selling opportunity, because the only ones who are going to be selling XRP, if that happens, are the jittery people without any good sense about the market, and the institutions and market makers themselves, to generate and to obtain some more liquidity. And even in the video that I did here, I don't know if I mentioned Proppy or not, but Proppy is another crypto asset out there that you might want to consider hovering around $1 or something at this point. And so when you see articles like this, these make a whole lot more sense from a fundamental perspective than something like this. And I did videos on Chat GPT, right? And Chat GPT agrees that the prices prey to institutions. Well, I agree with that. And then I asked the question, can we rely on, there's a big plane flying over? I hope it's not too bad. That's a military plane, a military Blackhawk chopper or something. Anyway, getting back on task here. You can't really rely on ChatGPT, but ChatGPT picks two cryptos to turn $100 into $1,000 by 2026. Now, we are halfway through 2025, and I know ChatGPT is not the most reliable. But even ChatGPT, when it picked just those two cryptos to turn $100 into 1,000, guess who was number one? XRP is pick number one. A $50 investment today buys approximately 21.6 XRP tokens. The model suggests a plausible target of around 1150 by 2026. Bogeys a week now. Around that $12 price again, a five-fold increase, turning $50 into $250, turning $500 into $2,500, $25,000 into $25,000. You get the point? So I figured I'd do a video on this in case anyone got scared about XRP entering the $1 zone. And if XRP does enter the $1 zone, see it for what it is, a buying opportunity. And so when we look at this article, and particularly when we look at this descending channel here, that's how the institutions are playing it. Look at all the money that could be made if you can buy on the support and sell on the resistance. Buy on the report, sell on the resistance. Buy on the support and then sell on the resistance. But then comes the breakout. And so when you look at a descending channel here, for instance, on Investopedia, definition and trading strategies, this is not financial advice. This is enlightenment. So don't take it as financial advice or hold me responsible. But for key takeaways, it indicates a downward pattern, right? It says traders, and I'll replace that with institutions, who believe that a security's price is likely to remain within its descending channel can initiate trades when the price fluctuates back and forth within the channel boundaries. And so that's what they've been doing with this manipulation of the price, in my humble opinion, while keeping you discouraged making money because they can manipulate the price. We don't have impact on the price. But here's the key point: a more potent trade signal may occur with a breakout, which is when a security's price breaches an established channel's boundaries, either on the upper or the lower side. And if that happens, which it has, you have to decide, are you going to believe that it's going to keep going down? Or are you going to believe things like this that are going to push it up? And this is just one example. But even when you look at examples of descending channel patterns, you'll notice the breakout above the resistance becomes very bullish. The breakout above the resistance, the back test, like I mentioned before on here, this could be viewed as the back test. The breakout becomes very bullish. The breakout becomes very bullish after the back test. And I'm not trying to give a lesson on reading charts, but I am trying to say, in your paradigm, I hope you can see that this breakout for an asset like XRP could be very bullish, extremely bullish. And I thought it was a good time to talk about it. And once again, ChatGPT and I agree that of the two cryptos, I'm not going to go with two cryptos, but I know of one crypto that can certainly turn $100 into $1,000 by 2026 is right here, XRP. I'm DK Will. This is DK Will Talk About It. I have plenty of videos out there for you to go look at. Please watch them to the end. Please like, please comment. I address every comment except for the spam. But I did want to talk about this. If that happens, it's a buying opportunity. Take advantage of it. If you're new to the XRP scene, take advantage of it. If you've been here a while, like myself, if it fits within your investment strategy. But don't let it discourage you, because after all is said and done, it's going to probably be a bullish reaction. bouncing off of that. Resistance that just turned into support. That's all I wanted to talk about, and I've talked about it. Have a wonderful day.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.